the best things in life, your health, your family, your friends, and those precious memories and experiences. And a lot of those memories and experiences do involve travel and leisure. We travel not to escape life, but for life not to escape us.
Welcome to the My Future Business Show, where we get you in front of your best audience and keep you there. Not only are we interviewing the biggest names in business to help you become even more successful, we're inviting you to book your spot on the show to help you grow your business. So at the end of the call, make sure you fill in the interview application form at myfuturebusiness.com/interviews. Hello and welcome back to the My Future Business Show. My name is Rick Nusky. I hope you're doing really well today, and thank you so very much for joining us. Without you, the show can't be what it is, and with all of my wonderful guests, it's certainly making a difference to so many people. I've been reading your feedback, and it's wonderful knowing that the show is making a difference for you. Now, speaking about making a difference, I'm on the line with Coach Chris Klesh. Welcome to the show, Chris.
Well, Rick, it's a pleasure to be here. I mean, we're separated by miles. We're just talking what technology is. I'm here at night, a day before you, at my time, in Eastern time in the United States. In the state of Florida, it's 8 o'clock here.
I live in the future, don't I? Now, for everybody who doesn't know much about Chris, he is a consultant and founder of Lifetime Leisure Experiences, and we're going to be talking about how to empower the inside secrets to safe luxury travel and leisure for pennies on the dollar, bringing your family together to create lasting memories. But before we do that, Chris, what I like to do is spend a bit of time learning a little bit about you. Now, first and foremost, you mentioned you were in Florida, is that correct?
Right.
And
that's my home base. I'm in Florida, but I do a lot of traveling. I'm a skier, so in the winter I go out to Vail, Colorado. I ski like 10 or 15 different resorts, so I probably spend 2 months skiing. I'm also an ex-conductor, so I enjoy Broadway with the COVID thing. It's going to open up in September, October, so I'll be up there in December with my son seeing 4 or 5 Broadway shows. So I try to get the most out of my travel and leisure.
Yeah, absolutely. And so in terms of, I guess, downtime, do you have much downtime, and what do you do then? Do you just, with the COVID thing, are you watching more movies? What are you doing when you can't do much travel?
Well, normally I'm a professional speaker. I'm really retired. I spent 32 years as an executive with AT&T. Yep. And then I retired about 20 years ago. And I got into this speaking thing because in my professional life with AT&T, I'm the guy with the suit and the tie that gave the presentations, and I've always loved travel. Yep. So I had a bucket list when I retired, and I went around the world once or twice, been every place, and now I'm sort of, as I get older, stay in the United States. It became a passion for me. But the big thing is to show people you don't have to be rich to live rich. That's one of my mantras, Rick. As I tell my audience, normally I'm a professional speaker prior to COVID. Yep. I'd speak a few times a month, and I start out asking the questions. Would you agree with me that the best things in life aren't those things? They're not the material things. What are they? Your health, your family, your friends, and those precious memories and experiences. And a lot of those memories and experiences do involve travel and leisure. After all, another one of my mantras, we travel not to escape life, but for life not to escape us. So whether it's a normal vacation, holiday, as you call it, in Europe, whether it's a wedding, it's a reunion, it's an adventure trip with your family over the holidays, travel and leisure is so important to corporate wellness, your own health and welfare, reducing stress, reducing burnout. And so I am just a proponent of the importance of travel, but what's the big problem? The problem is it's expensive. People can't afford it. The middle class in your country, my country, airfares are going up, accommodations, and what I try to do is provide the solution that you don't have to be rich to live rich. You could still live this luxury lifestyle. I'm not talking a Motel 6. I'm talking 4 or 5-star hotels, resorts, and pay Motel 6 prices practically for free. For instance, I don't pay to fly. I haven't paid for a flight in 14 years.
Wow.
and I'm not married to a flight attendant. So it can be done. And I've devoted the last 18 years, sort of like a drug to me. I read every blog, every book, interview every tourist, every concierge, every place I go to try to learn all the inside secrets of deals that you're not going to find in a book. These are inside secrets. They're like loopholes. How do we learn to travel, especially with a family, etc., without breaking the bank? So that's become my passion. I did it for myself, and now I look forward to share it with these audiences. And during the COVID situation, obviously, as you know, the live speaking engagements in my country here, United States, have been cut down. There's no association meetings or conventions, so it put professional speakers like me out of business. So I've been doing these interviews. I've been guesting on a lot of radio shows, TV shows for my advice and guides, podcasts, that type of thing, interview shows such as you have, to try to share the current events, so to speak, the new normal, travel in the new normal. And at least here, I can't speak for your country, but I know in the United States with the vaccination, 70% are vaccinated. People are starting to travel now. The planes are filled. They're planning their vacations. And most everything is open now.
That's fantastic. I wonder, Chris, can we go back, when your first experience as a traveller, and what do you remember of it? When you're a young boy, do you recall the first time you went around?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. I was very blessed, Rick. I had a family that went on a lot of vacations, and I remember at 12 years old going to Europe for 4 weeks and doing all the tourist stuff, Italy, France, British Isles, every place, Austria, Switzerland, Liechtenstein, going to the museums. But one memory I have, I remember at 12 years old, I'm 73 years old now, but at 12 years old, I still have the memory of having dinner on that first floor of the Eiffel Tower. It's a gourmet restaurant. I still have a picture of it at 12 years old. So these memories and experiences that are educational, going to different cultures, different countries. I'm an athlete. I'm sort of a cultured jock in that I do all the sports. So I follow tennis. You have the Australian Open, obviously Wimbledon, the U.S. Open, the French Open. I've been to several President's Cups in golf. I've been to them in South Africa and Great Britain, etc. So I believe travel is a part of our life, and it's educational.
Yeah.
Not only does it reduce stress, but it gets us into cultural experience with other countries. We learn from that. We decide what we like to do, how other countries, the pros and cons of things, the history of your country, Europe, and the sporting events. Since I'm an avid athlete, the golf that's played. You have a lot of great golfers from Australia that are here in the United States. A lot of them are living in my neighborhood because it's the golf capital of the world.
It certainly is.
So travel is, I think, a necessity part of our life. Again, I'm going to repeat myself, but we travel not to escape life, but for life not to escape us. That's the education, the culture, the adventures. And sometimes we have to get on a plane to go to a different continent, go to a different country to experience that. And that all adds up to our memories and experiences.
Thank you very much for sharing, Chris. This is wonderful. I wonder, Chris, if you could share, given your lifestyle would be markedly different to most of the people that, at least that I know, what does a day look like for you typically?
Well, it depends. With this COVID thing, right now I'm a member of National Speakers Association, Florida Speakers Association. I've been doing a lot of these interviews.
Yep.
And so I try to read a lot of blogs. I study the industry. I read maybe 30, 40 blogs on travel a day, all these travel consultants, etc. So I try to keep up on the industry, what's going on, the restrictions, the quarantine, so I could give my clients advice and guidance. I also have a private coaching practice where people work with me one-on-one, where I help them facilitate their dreams. One of my business mantras for lifetime leisure experience is we look forward to servicing your dreams and bringing your families together so your memories can last forever. But with the caveat, without breaking the bank. So I spend a lot of time on research, and I have fun myself. Right now, I told you, I'm at the beach. Today, I was in the ocean swimming, 82-degree weather. I play tennis. I play golf. So I'm not working all the time. This is a part-time thing for me to give back. I enjoy speaking. I enjoy helping people learn the deals on travel, how they can do it affordably, talk about the value of travel for their health and wellness.
Yep.
Heck, in the U.S., I don't know if you know this or not, people get the 2 weeks vacation with all the stress. I mean, prior to COVID, they weren't even taking their 2 weeks vacation, whereas in Europe, I don't know about your country, they're required to take 4 to 6 weeks, vacation. It's a whole different culture. And in my country here, there's so much pressure in the work ethic. The work-life balance is all around work. I'm more of the life-work balance. It should be around family, health, memories, and experiences.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about memories for a moment. You and I touched on the use of technology by mere fact that you're using an iPhone to speak with me, connect with me from the other side of the planet. Yet here we are, live, talking about travel and leisure and creating memories. We also touched on, I guess the older style photographic books that we used to have, where we would take a photo, wait 3 days to get it processed and put it in this book. Now, that's since changed. People use their computers, they store it on their phones. But my question for you, Chris, is do you have... is it better, should I say, for you to capture memories in your mind than in a photograph? Should we be clicking all the time, or should we be watching with our own eyes and taking it in that way?
Well, to answer your question, a little bit of both. I believe people are too addicted to the technology. As you know, a lot of the youth, they're millennials, they're into video games. I think we should take a rest from that. It should be part of our day. I'm not on my phone all day checking emails, going on podcasts, that sort of thing. I try to take in the finer things in life, speak to people. I still believe in face-to-face communications when I can have it. Not Zoom meetings. I'm a professional speaker. I'd rather speak in front of a live audience and look them in the eyes and get their feedback instead of a Zoom call. And then be able to answer their questions, and hopefully that'll come back, hopefully within the next year. Nothing's definite. Like I said, I don't know what the future is, but I know here in the United States, people are traveling now. The planes are filled. I just got back from a few weeks ago from Lake Tahoe, where it's really a second home for me. And I was out there, and I'm back here, and then I'll be back in Colorado in a few weeks, and then my son comes down here to the beach, and I'm looking forward to going to Broadway, which is in New York, where all the Broadway musicals are, and celebrate Christmas up there with all the decorations and everything else as a citizen. And then that's December, and then I look forward to skiing again. I think let me just tell your audience this. I think there's 3 aspects to travel. The first one is planning a trip. You got to book the trip. You got to execute. The further in advance you plan a trip, the cheaper it is for you. You're going to save money. That's number 1. Number 2, it gets you through a year. If you have something planned 6 to 8 months out, maybe a year out, you look forward to it. It gets you through troubled times. Endorphins go to your brain, serotonin, whatever the chemical is. Yep. You're saying, God, in 6 months, I'm going to have this family reunion in this country or that country, if it's international travel, or I'm going to go on this cruise. So it gives you a high. It gets you through troubled times, something to look forward to. And then you actually have the adventure and the experience of that travel endeavor. Again, whether it's a cruise, you're going on an African safari, you're going on a fishing trip, you play golf, you're going to Disney World here, you're going to a sporting event, the Australian Open or the U.S. Open or French Open or wherever it is, or seeing museums when that comes back. And you're actually having that adventure experience, educational experience. And then, like we said, with this technology, we're capturing those. It's so easy to capture those with our iPhones and iPads and share those experiences with our friends and family. And basically, we build a legacy. So that's really the three aspects of travel, the importance of it.
I'd love to learn a little bit more about, I guess, the moment, the genesis for your business. When did it come to you, this idea of helping others through lifetime leisure experiences to save?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. I started working after I retired. I mean, I have 2 degrees. I have a Bachelor of Science in music and radio and TV, and then my corporate job paid for my MBAs in finance and marketing. But when I retired, I had a goal to travel. I enjoyed travel and leisure, even in the United States, seeing different states, different weather climates, play different sports. So I was fortunate that I got to travel a lot. And then as a speaker, I've always been a professional speaker in front of an audience. I got involved with the National Speakers Association, local speakers association. Everybody was asking me, how do I afford to do this? I mean, I'm not Donald Trump. I can't afford it. I'm just a middle class guy. And I always got these questions. How do you afford to do it? And I said, well, I learned all the tricks in the trade because I read, I study it. It's in my blood. I interview a lot of people, and I've learned how you can travel in luxury on a budget. Then I had groups wanting me to speak to them and share those tips, so to speak, and that brought me into my professional speaking business. And then obviously I got coached as a speaker. And in the United States, if you're not funny, you don't get paid. So I started doing stand-up comedy. So I'm more of an entertainer now. So I consider myself a presentainer. Not only do I give value with my travel tips, I entertain them with my comedy. So
it was what's that? Presentainer. A presentainer. Yeah. I've never heard that before. That's great.
Well, I don't know about in your country, but when they pay speakers at conventions, association meetings, trade groups, they don't want a professor up there. They don't want, information you could get on YouTube. They want a personality to deliver it in a very entertaining way, and I try to do that. And so I got this a mentor. I believe in coaching and mentoring. I'm in a mastermind group of professional speakers, and the leader of the mastermind groups makes U.S. dollars now, $15 million a year speaking and consulting. He's the one that told me, he's sort of guided my career. We role play, picks apart my speeches and says what's important. You speak in sound bites, you're funny, etc. You give value to the audience. It's not about me. It's about the audience getting the value. You're giving them transformation. What I like to do, whether it's on the stage or even on this interview, is give some transformation to your audience about the importance of travel. And then obviously we'll get into some of the travel tips that I show people how to save 80, 90% from their travel budget.
I'd love to shift gears to that very point right now, Chris, by starting off asking you about the 4 R's. Can you share what they are with us? I found them on your website. Retreat, relax, renew, and remember.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about that. We all, even in this COVID environment where a lot of people have been cooped up, sheltering in place, in jail. I know, and I don't know about your country so much, the restrictions. You can't have big family gatherings. Schools have been closed, beaches closed, health clubs closed, restaurants closed. And now that they have vaccinations, I think where we can, we're not 100% open, but where we can, whether it's your country or my country, we all need to, for our health and wellness, retreat, relax, renew, rejoice, and remember for a lifetime. We all need to do that. It's part of our life cycle. Like I said, it's better for relationships. There's studies that have been done for working people after they go on a vacation or a holiday, I think they call it in Europe. When they come back, they're refreshed. They perform better on their job. There's reduced stress, reduced burnout, working. And especially it's better for family relationships. It's educational, giving their children, their grandchildren an opportunity to see the world or participate in a sport, whether it's a golf trip, skiing trip, or in the United States, go to the amusement parks such as Disney, go to museums, go to sporting events, etc. So the world of travel and leisure. And again, not everything you have to get on a plane for. It might be a fishing trip, a short 3-hour trip to another resort where you live, just to retreat, relax, get away from the normal thing, worry less about your troubles, and rejoice in your family and its memories and experiences. And like I know health is so important, and that's mental and physical health.
Yeah.
A lot of people just think about physical health. I mean, I exercise 4 or 5 times a year. I've been injured skiing, but I'm in good health. But I also think mental health's important, that people, as they get older, in my age group, like I said, I'm in the 70s, need to read. They need to volunteer. They need to be astute. They need to listen to interviews like this, podcasts. They need to watch educational shows. They need to keep current on whatever their political views are, keep current on what things affect their life, their schools, their children, their culture, etc. So mental health is just as important as the physical health, I think, in your overall welfare.
Thank you very much for sharing. You know, a couple of things I've taken away from this is obviously our mental health, our physical health, but also, you know, our ability to just a change is as good as a holiday, essentially. By going away locally, you can, you know, refresh and renew quite a bit. Now, Chris, I'd love to shift gear. There's just so much that you could share with the audience, but given that time is what it is, I wonder if there would be one thing that you could share with the audience that would help them start down their journey of, you know, traveling more, having more holidays and getting away, but saving money doing so. What would you share?
Yeah, well, the big 2 things people got to understand, and I've been studying this for 18 years, the 2 biggest expenses in travel are airfares and accommodations. So I'll give your audience 2 big tips. Let's talk about airfares, number 1.
Yep.
I guess I don't know your country, but I know in the United States, every airline is associated with a bank, has its own credit card.
Yes.
For instance, Delta is with American Express. Chase Bank in the U.S. has Southwest. American Airlines is another one. Now, if you look at international airlines, I mean, British Air, I think, is with American Express. Every bank has an airline-sponsored credit card. And there's what's called these sign-up bonuses, where you spend a minimum, I'm talking about U.S. dollars now,
Yes.
We'll translate it, you know, to your economy in different ways, but I'm talking in my U.S., if you spend the equivalent of $2,000, you're going to get 70, on Delta, for instance, 70,000 frequent flyer miles. That's enough to travel from the U.S. to Australia for spending $2,000 as you normally spend, and you get that right on a credit card. It goes into your frequent flyer account. Now, if you have a spouse, a wife, you get a credit card, she gets a credit card. That's 140,000 miles. And then if you have a business like I do, if you're an entrepreneur, solopreneur, etc., you get a business card. So you leverage the credit card sign-up bonuses. You pick the destination you want a vacation to or holiday to, as you say. You sign up for the credit card bonuses. You spend the minimum, obviously, to pay the credit card off when the end of the month when it's due, so you don't want to pay interest. And that's the quickest way to accumulate these frequent flyer miles. And every airline has one. I can't speak for your country, but I know in the United States, everyone does. So take advantage of that. There's different blogs that tell you when these sign-up bonuses. In fact, there's an American Airlines credit card that I show my clients. This is the truth. All you have to do is make one purchase. Buy a pack of gum. Fill up your car with gas, petrol, whatever you want to call it, one time. At the end of the billing cycle, you're going to get 60,000 frequent flyer miles, American Advantage miles, and they're reciprocity with British Airways. So you get a card, your wife gets a card, your spouse gets a card. That's 120,000 miles. that enables a family to go round trip to Europe, Paris, etc., for buying a pack of gum. You just have to know about these loopholes, how it works, etc. Yeah. And that's how you fly for free. You pick the airline that you want to fly to your destination. You start out, you find out what credit card sign-up bonuses, offers are out there. You spend the minimum. You could put all your charges on your utilities. I pay my car insurance, the phone bills. I even pay my homeowner's insurance on that, my etc. And bills I normally pay, and I wind up flying for free. So if a family plans it correctly, start with one airline, one credit card, figure out the airline that gets you to the destination, sign up for that card.
There you go.
And that's what you do. And then you leverage that. Now, for instance, myself, I ski a lot. So I go to Vail, Colorado. As you probably heard of that, it's a very luxury ski resort. So I fly to Vail for free. So instead of paying $700 US round trip, I'm flying for free. I do that every year.
Yeah.
Now, the second tip is accommodations. Especially I'm talking about the typical family vacation holiday, when they're going to resorts, a beach resort, golf resort, etc. Even in the big cities. I tell my clients and at my speeches and my seminars, when you're going for the typical week vacation, whether it is, forget the word hotel for your stay. Forget the word hotel. Why? I'll talk about the U.S. I don't know how it translates to your country. But in the United States, you have Marriott, Hilton, Westin, Starwood, Wyndham, even Disney, even the Ritz-Carlton. They're all hotels. But they all have timeshare or vacation club products. Why pay for hotels when you could rent from an owner? And the site I use, it's an international site now, redweek.com, REDWEEK, and rent a timeshare or a vacation club property from an owner now, not from the hotel chains, and rent a 1, 2, or 3-bedroom unit that sleeps 4, 6, 8, 12, that comes with a full kitchen, washer, dryer, full resort amenities, and pay less than a hotel room. So if you're traveling with your family and your grandchildren, instead of thinking about that hotel, look on the internet. I don't know how it is in your country, but in the U.S., these timeshares are in every resort area, every major city, and some of them come with free golf. They all have luxury resort amenities. I'm staying at one tonight. I'm right on the ocean, overlooking the ocean. There's hot tubs, miniature golf, tennis, and I'm paying. They all have free Wi-Fi. There's no tax by renting from an owner, and it's an alternative to staying at your traditional vacation. It's a lot cheaper. Well, everybody says, what about Airbnb? Airbnb is a room in somebody's house. You're not getting full resort amenities.
No.
You're getting, in the timeshare industry or vacation club, now they changed the name because of bad sales practices. The major hotel chains, they call them vacation clubs. Wyndham, Hilton Grand Vacation Club, Marriott Vacation Club. And you could stay at these resorts. I'll give you a perfect example. Use myself as example and some of my clients. I told you I go skiing. I go to Vail. It's a very luxury resort, high-price resort, a hotel, U.S. dollars, and ski season is $750 a night, and then another $50 U.S. dollars to park your car. That's $800 a night, where you could rent a half mile down the road. It's called Marriott Streamside Vacation Club from an owner now. Just go on the internet, pick your dates, and get a 2-bedroom unit that sleeps 8, 3 flat screen TVs, free Wi-Fi, full kitchen, washer, dryer, free underground parking, a clubhouse with an indoor-outdoor pool, weight room, sauna, steam room, whirlpool, hot tubs, free vacation, right? And you're going to pay 1/3 less. You're going to pay $200 or $300 a night, no tax, to sleep 8 in all those amenities than you would paying for one night in a hotel room.
How could you go wrong with that? I sit here and I think to myself, there is obviously so much that people could learn from you, because I can tell that you're a wealth of knowledge. You've done it. You've walked the road before us. And for those who are on the call today, you definitely want to reach out to Coach Chris to learn more. But with that being said, Chris, I'm wondering if you could share a little bit about your coaching program and what people need to do to get involved with you.
Well, I'm a professional speaker, and I have done some international talks, few talks. If they have an association and want some of these travel tips to talk, not just the travel tips, but to really get into the work-life balance issue, the importance of travel, and then how to save 90%. I'm a professional speaker. But what I try to do with my coaching program is I for your audience here, they'll get a free consultation for me if they go to Coach Chris Speaks, that URL, CoachChrisSpeaks.com, and I have an automated calendar, and book a time with me, and I'll be glad to answer their questions, point them in the right direction. And then if there's a meeting of the minds, I work with them, different programs. I have an hour coaching program. They tell me in English or where they're trying to travel to, and I'll walk them through the resources, what newsletters to get, etc., what resources, how to get them on these preview, what they call them timeshare preview tours. So you stay for like 70% off. All you have to spend is an hour of your time with the salespeople, but I help that out because I tell them what to say, so there's no high pressure sales. So they can get a hold of me. My email, if they want to email me directly, they could email me at lifetimeleisure@bellsouth.net. I also have a free ebook I'll give your audience. If they email me at their address and they just want the ebook, I have 99 travel tips without skimping. It's an ebook. I'll send it to them if they just give me their email. Send me an email, give me their email, and they just say they want the ebook, 99 Coach Chris's travel tips without skimping. But if they do want that personal consultation, I'll give it to them as a courtesy to your audience for free. Just make an appointment time with me. We'll have to work out the time zone difference here. I don't know if it's on my automated.
No, look, it's not a major deal. We can work all those things out, Coach Chris.
In other words, but the main reason, if they want to get a hold of me, send me an email, work out a time. I love to help people out, show them. Again, getting back to my mantras, the best things in life, a little repetition here to sum it up, aren't the material things. They're your health, that's mental and physical health, as we talked about, your friends, your families, and those memories and experiences. And a lot of those memories that are experienced are created around travel and leisure. And we travel not to escape life, again, but for life not to escape us. And everybody's different. Somebody might want to do mountain climbing. Other people want to go on safaris. Other people want to go on cruises. Other people want to go to shows or museums. Other people want to go fishing, play golf. There's a world. Everybody else has a different idea of travel with their family. So we try to make it happen. The idea is the importance of travel and leisure, and that you don't have to be rich to live rich. If you're educated, an educated consumer, and with the help of a coach, everybody needs the help of a coach or mentor to guide you in this process, because it is complicated with the internet out there, and that's where I come in. Absolutely. I can help guide them, put them on the right track, the right resources, etc., so they can think, oh yeah, maybe I don't have to book that 7-night at that expensive hotel. I could rent somebody's timeshare. There's a resource, redweek.com, and it's international. They work in Europe too, and I don't know about your country, but they're in Spain and Thailand, all over. Major resort vacation destinations, and it's much less expensive. You're going to get triple the space, triple the amenities for about a third the price of a luxury hotel room.
Now, who doesn't like to save money? I can pretty much rest assured that everybody who's on the call today, Coach Chris, would love to learn more. I'll be making sure that we can get them that ebook. Thank you so very much for that.
Yeah, the ebook's a good international book. It talks about travel tips and youth hostels and renting a car, different websites, and again, it's free. If they send me an email, they just want the book, I'll be glad to, again, Lifetime, spell it out, Lifetime Leisure at BellSouth, BELLSOUTH.net. Just mention your show, Rick, that you heard Coach Chris on your show, and I'll get it out to them. Give me their email address, and they could download it themselves, 99 travel tips. If they do want that consultation with me, they could either send me an email or go to my automated calendar system, CoachChrisSpeaks.com, and book a consultation with me, and I'll point them in the right direction.
Thank you so very much, Chris. Now, everybody who's on the show today, I'll be making sure that all of the links back to Coach Chris are made available to you as is customary. And with all that being said, Coach Chris, thank you so very much for spending some time with me on the My Future Business
Show. My pleasure. I mean, this is I don't usually do these international calls because sometimes I feel I'm not well equipped to discuss travel in your country. Obviously my expertise is in the United States and in Europe, that sort of travel, but it still applies to everybody. Absolutely. The benefits of travel, whether what country you're in Africa, you're in Asia, the importance of travel and leisure for your health, wellness, reducing that stress, reducing that burnout, visiting other cultures, getting that, they call it in the United States the bucket list trip when people retire. They want to check things off. God, I always dreamed. You want to dream for a moment, but remember for a lifetime.
Thanks for joining us today. If you enjoyed the call, then make sure to subscribe, leave a comment, share us with your friends, and book your spot on the show at myfuturebusiness.com/interviews. And if you're looking for solutions that will help grow your business, then visit myfuturebusiness.com/shop.